don't sit there ranking defeats particularly, but obviously we got well outplayed in the last 4 days of the game. You know, we obviously set the game up pretty well on day one. South Africa used the conditions to their advantage fantastically well on day two to come back into the game, and then never let us back in the game. So, you know, a number of areas where we're frustrated. I think that second morning that we didn't deal better with those conditions. And also last night, losing 4 wickets in pretty placid conditions obviously made life very difficult for ourselves today. So there are obviously regrets there. Whenever you lose a game, there's some regrets. But, you know, we'll learn the lessons and we'll come back strong next week. We've batted pretty well in our home conditions for a long period of time now, and there's no reason to expect anything different next week. I think, you know, I suppose, you know, South Africa had a bit of a psychological advantage last night, us having been in the field for a long period of time, and as I said, we didn't react well enough to that, and that's a frustrating, it leaves a slightly sour taste in the mouth. But you got to give credit where it's due. South Africa took their chance really well in this game. You know, they fought hard to stay in the game on day two. They got ahead of us and they didn't let us back. So credit where it's due. I thought they played really well. Hashim Amla in particular was outstanding, and he was well supported by Callis and Smith. But you know, I have a great amount of belief in our players, and I'm sure we'll bounce back next week. You know, I think, again, you've got to give credit to the way South Africa played. The wicket was at its most placid, there's no doubt about it. We couldn't get the ball swinging either way. So, you know, it was always going to be hard work for us, but South Africa never gave us an end to bowl at. You know, when we did take a wicket, Callis came in and got 100 of his own. So, you know, when you're bowling at one guy on 250 and one guy on 100, it's obviously going to be hard work for the bowlers. So, you know, all credit to them. They played outstandingly well. You know, I have great belief in our bowling attack. They've shown it time and time again over the last couple of years, and one game doesn't change that. Most of my regrets are the fact that we didn't come out of this game with a draw, and we should have done that. You know, as I said, losing 4 wickets last night was a bit of a body blow for us, and you know, there wasn't, the South Africans did get it reversing a little bit today, but it was still a pretty flat wicket, and if we had more wickets in hand, I'm sure we could have batted out the day. As I said, our bowling attack's got huge reserves of confidence. They've taken 20 wickets pretty much every time they've played for the last 2 years, so one game doesn't change that for me. You know, I think one of the advantages of having a bit of time before the next test is you've got time to take stock and let things settle. I think that's always a wise thing to do anyway. And we'll be doing that over the coming days. As I said, I'm sure there are some lessons for us to learn out of this test match. There have to be. And it's obviously increasingly important in the 3-test series not to repeat those mistakes in the next game. But I've still got huge confidence we'll come back into the series. You know, we've often played our best when we've come off a defeat, and this is a good challenge for us. I mean, obviously it's surprising that we lost. It's surprising and disappointing that we lost. But we always knew South Africa were a good side, and they did what good sides do, which is they don't let you back in the game if you make mistakes, which is what we did. Well, we've got 2 games, we need to win them both. So the challenge is obviously harder than it was at the start of the series, but you know, that's there in front of us. We've got to go out there and do that now. As I said, I've got huge confidence in our players to do that. But we need to use this week wisely, you know, to put this game to bed, learn the lessons from it, recharge the batteries, and make sure we're 100% ready to go come next Thursday.